Hello and welcome back to another live stream here on the twitch.tv/xisuma playing on the Hermitcraft server. Oh yes. Oh, hello. Pressed the wrong key. Confused me. Bananas are in chat from Hero Blender. Forgil, Wilma, Chiwi, Pepper, Admirari, Spooky Dokie. Thank you for letting me know that we're live. Peeps. Oh yeah, there's that in the middle of this tunnel. I am like a little bit out of it right now. You see, I've been looking forward to this live stream all day, but then some things just transpired over the past hour that kind of like shifted my mind into a very different space. And now that I'm ready to stream, I was supposed to stream like an hour ago. Now that I'm here and ready, yeah, just feel like I got to adjust, you know. Well, we're going to work on this project today, right? And I wanted to start off with an experiment that will take us into creative mode, I think. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, got to get back up there. There's 4. 5, 6. 6 is where the dirt is. 7, 8. There's 8 segments of this tunnel as it's currently been laid out. And I was kind of wondering if we could transition from this color to another one down there. So just gonna log off. Gonna probably look at some absolute spoilers. Let's go over here. Get rid of some stuff out of our inventory. Like, we want to go from this tone down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello. Like, blue is a kind of icy color. Well, this was easy. I thought I was going to be here for a while. I didn't even think of using these colors. That is 8 right there. Oh, isn't that good? Slowly go from one to the other. Dang, that's easy. I can't believe how easy that was. Plus, if I want to make this look interesting, like, it's put all the colours in the right places for me. Thank you. If we use the hot swapper mod though, we're not gonna. We don't have like colour palettes, so we can't like cheese our way to the other materials. Well, that is certainly interesting, isn't it? Ah, yeah, it might look a little different as we load in some other colours because of the nature of the terracotta. Like, gets a little bit muddy around that space. Absolute Territory NA, thank you so much for subscribing with your Amazon Prime. Appreciate you doing that. Hope you're entertained, enjoying the stream, having a good time. You know, thank you for the support. Right, well, I'm going to just continue layering these blocks on top. Peeps, in case I forget, I do have a hot beverage. Please do remind me. I'm not worrying about how much liquids I consume before I go to bed today. I had a terrible night's sleep. Well, I say terrible. I just couldn't get to sleep. And then I like slept for 4 hours solid and then woke up at like 5 in the morning and just knew I wouldn't fall back to sleep. And I was like, right, well, I'm just gonna go for a walk. Went for a very long walk this morning. You know. Liger Gaming says, you have a hot beverage. There you go, reminded. I mean, remind me later. Thank you, Liger. Appreciate you. How have you been? I'm Lodo. I did your rare TCG card, says Lodo. I love the art on the TCG cards. Thank you so much, my dude. Any fan art you do, or just art or anything with me in it, Twitter is the place to send it to me at. Like, that's for anyone, not just you. I always love to see that stuff. So feel free to send something my way whenever you make something. I'd love to see it. Right. I am just going to load up these blocks like this. And then I think it will give us some inspiration for cool tunnel designs, right? Now we've gone through that, and we know we got glass. I tell you what, I'll add shulker boxes in because they are disposable for me. I can literally throw shulker boxes away. I've got so many. Oh, and I must admit, the first terracotta had the right sort of tone for the transition, if you ask me. As long as we like lean into the blue down the end, it's more this tone though that really gets it right. I might kind of snip out that. That's our. In fact, I think I'll call it and say we actually want to wrap it up here. This is our ice tone right there, isn't it? Okay, good decision. Good decision. Right, noises are in my eardrum, so I'm going to face you. I'm going to zoom. I'm going to zoom a little bit more than that. Colonel Coffee, thank you for 6 months, my dude. Jess MC, thank you for gifting a sub to Lost Cult Game. And Curls, thank you for gifting a sub to Lodorigo. I got a feeling I probably just said that name totally different a second ago. Appreciate it ever so much. Lodorigo says it was a pleasure. Lovely, lovely. I really appreciate it. Curls woke up at 6 AM due to building site noise. Not the best way to wake up, right? Megan says that's an absolute troll. What's a troll? Lost Cult Game. When I read that, I thought, isn't there like an American team called the Colts? Like, is there some egg-shaped handball references going on here that I'm not quite picking up on? Yeah, let's go ahead and we start with Mangrove. I was gonna say this could go before Mangrove, but we're gonna start with that. As far as wood goes, like we would have that, and then which one do you want to put it on, really? Oh! Goodness me, that's a sub bomb. My ability to read lots of names without butchering them is going to be challenged. Let's face it, we all know that I'm going to just butcher stuff. Let's just settle in with that reality. These blocks that I'm adding on top, by the way, I'm not so convinced by. I'm just kind of like rolling with it. What did we have along that? We definitely had something yellowy, golden. I don't think we're really going to dive in. Oh yeah, all of these blocks too. Not sure we're going to dive into these too much. I just like this exercise of throwing this stuff down and having a look, you know? Oops. Right, we've got to read these noises out. We've got to read these noises in my eardrum. I've got to turn around. Can't have a frown. A little bit of zoom. Actually, I can't even... We're being raided! Daisy, thank you so much for the raid. The timing. I'm about to read out tons of names and butcher them all. 4Gil96, thank you for 37 months. Jerk Rat, thank you for 23. Pump KYN Bunny, thank you so much for the generous support here. 25 gifted subs. Really appreciate you doing that. That's wonderful. To support me and to support our community, they all get access to some emotes and stuff. Who gets access? Well, I'm going to read these names. I'm going to butcher some of them. And if you hear your name being read out loud, be sure to say thanks in the chat, because we always appreciate the gifting of the subs. Corelli01, Goofy Me, TriStar, Blue Ghost, Duality, Compt72, Lucaton6, Johnson, Meek155, Mesotech, Endo06, Von Tower, Taubar, Hygen Hund, Sektrov, The Bear Theum, Calmly Chilled, Noodle System, Alan Agard, Lacau, Josh Boz, Absent Nix, Ren's Cold Sun, Navi HP, James Dungus, y'all been gifted subs. Be sure to say thanks again. Thank you ever so much again, Pumpkin. You know what? Am I pretty good at talking and playing and reading names, maybe? I did that pretty good. I consider myself to have somewhat of a frazzled brain when it comes to, I don't know, attention and my mind wandering and stuff, but maybe the live streams are to blame. Maybe that's what's done it to me, because when I'm in this place, I seem to do alright. Okay. Okay, I'm just trying to pick out the colours that kind of match our framework somewhat. You know, I'm going to skip over a few at this point, though, because... yeah, I could use this and that if I really wanted to, right? Like, so... that would probably come into play down here. Yellow around there. Orange... red sands, red sandstone, etc. I think I might skip clay. Like, we do have a lot of blocks here. That's a bit pale. That fits in well. Actually, I'm actually really out of those, and then that will change. Yeah, let's skip over the coral ones, because as we got to the bottom, we had the sponges. Oh, I didn't actually place in the orange copper, did I? Maybe melon has a role to play, and then I think we're kind of like running it a little bit short around here. What was the block that I didn't actually put in? Copper? Some of that real riggedy raw. I kind of like how that one's got, you know, this has got like the orange and the blue, and that's got a little bit of something with it. So there's some natural blocks for like each and every bit there. Interesting, interesting. Okay. Okay. So I think this part of the terracotta fade is probably out. And we're going to split up our tunnel into 7 panels. And then I think we need another block to break things up, right? And hear me out. I think it should be this block, because we get to see that when we reach our destination. Sniper 1974 is bringing Evil X into the live stream. Oh gosh, what will he do? Infernal Hails, my friend, Infernal Hails. From the deepest depths of wherever Evil X lives. So let's say this is like our potential structural block. Feels like that might be a bit of a crutch, really. We want something like... Probably going to do like the old partitioning with a tunnel, right? And then, you know, here's that section, here's that section. I am in the mood to try something organic, but with this color fade idea, I'm not sure I really see how that would work. In terms of using our more shapely blocks, we don't have as much of that color range either. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick to what I know. I am keen to do that whole thing at some point. Hot beverage reminder, thank you ever so much. I'll start drinking some of this decaf coffee. Also, X, you're able to post your rare card and announce it once the render is done. Alright, sweet. Yeah, tweet it at me and I'll be throwing that in a video or something. And to anyone who's watching who doesn't know, Hermitcraft TCG, trading card game, made by Vintage Beef on the server, now becoming an IRL thing. If you're like, IRL? What, I can get my hands on cards? That is true. You can get yourself on like a playable deck of the game. You want to head over to Vintage Beef's Twitter. Just head over there, look on his page. There is a whole thread about what you can get and where to get it from. All your questions will be answered. That's some good decaf. Any plans for Evil X in Season 10 with your Death Star you mentioned on Scar Stream, says Shocker08. So Season 10, I would love to do something like that, a Death Star, and then I started to think about what I would put in the Death Star and come up with a concept and stuff. But since then, I've kind of shied away from the idea of doing a Mega Base next season. I think what I want to do is really develop the philosophy of small is big, like... Put more time into something smaller and stop trying to do this massive scale stuff, because there's a big time sink that you could spend being creative, and sometimes being creative doesn't yield results. Like, it's just you goofing around. Like I did some stuff over here. Like, I goof around in this test world and I don't get air quotes results, but like that process is really fun and enjoyable. And that's kind of like what I want to focus on to some extent. Being more in those moments. Ever looked into how decaf is made? Yes, it's like a process of washing cocoa beans with water with something in it. I forget, like sodium, or I can't remember. Just saying something random now. Right, we need ideas here, because it's going to be very easy just to lay down a bunch of... However, you know, whatever material it is, it's going to be so many blocks across, it's going to be so many blocks wide, then we go to the next bit. Now, the transition on the floor would be from nether brick. I kind of really like the idea of actually using the terracotta on the floor to get to the end. Terracotta for the floor, and then more colourful stuff on the walls. I can see that coming together. I could kind of pattern it, although it does, maybe it trips up a little bit over here. I like that they're just not the boldest colours. Like when you're on the floor, the boldest colours aren't the way to go. maybe, look at this. Look at this. Right, the moss texture's great. Is there like a flatter yellow texture that I have overlooked? Or I could supplement in like... So I'm thinking these materials for the floor are pretty cool. But maybe just here, it's okay to use that one. Same might go for lime. I wonder if I'm missing some textures here. I don't think I am. Honeycomb or honey. A little too textured. I just liked how flat those two are next to each other. Then you get to moss and it's kind of like, well, that does work. This is a bit much. And like, I'd like something just a little flatter and limey. We will be looking at the top of the texture, but the grass is on the darker side. I don't think there's anything else quite like a lime sort of block with a soft texture like that. Maybe prismarine. It doesn't feel very lime. Yeah, it's too craggly, too rocky. It's really just like those two textures, this one over here. There isn't quite one for this. Top of a path block. That might work for yellow, yeah. Try jumbling the texture for each colour. That's kind of what I'm doing. I'm trying to like shuffle it up a little bit. We got Fayon here with the Prime, probably butchering the name, but thank you so much for the support. Dante Redeye for 40 months. Incredible. Appreciate you. And I am the Dog Tour. Not Doctor, the Dog Tour for 11 months. Appreciate your support. Block a Lapis is a good suggestion. What made you decide to make code to craft using ChatGPT and not build an autocrafter? I've been making it a habit to ask ChatGPT questions. So when it came to like creating a script with AHK, I realised I either spend ages looking through documentation and trial and error like I did before, or give ChatGPT a try, and straight away it just started giving me the stuff that I knew worked because I had used it before in the past. So that's why I used ChatGPT. And I'm just trying to use it like more often, like searching for stuff and whatnot. Bit too strong, that. Man, I really want a killer idea for this tunnel, but all I'm picturing is just like simple stuff in my brain space. And I feel like it's like right in front of me. There's got to be something cool we can do with these. Will putting tinted glass over the block do enough for the mute the texture and colour of the floor? It would music-free gaming. It would blur it a little, but it's not quite what I'm after. Like, what if I decided to make these the floor? Like, when you scale these, the pattern stuff is a bit... Oh, what do we want? Red glazed? Yeah. And then into... Nah, yeah, these have got to be used sparingly, even if we sort them out and turn them into, like, interesting patterns. I think, yeah, I really think they have to be used sparingly. Let's say we just make our way back to this idea again. Would it be so bad to do it like that? It kind of... just... It's 3 and 4, isn't it? Warp block in the reds. I think we're good on the red. What about a spiral look? I like that. I do like that. Okay, my brain's ticking over a little. Let's just go back because it could be cool if we sort of borrow the structure here. Maybe not the structure actually. Just the leaves. Like, what if we had a bunch of those azalea bushes kind of hanging down throughout the tunnel, and then they become like the top. Then you see the color on the sides. Yeah, I've got some idea now. Got some idea. Right, so hello, villager. You've just come to stand where I'm trying to place blocks. I know how it is. I know how it is. Yeah, I think I'd like to be a little bit adventurous and use our little strip of blocks up there. So Like, the first bit is going to be logs. We can rotate them for a little bit of extra texture. I told you the villager would be standing right where we need to go. About 5 wide seems about right to me. He's literally trying to get in there, isn't he? Like, that's not bad. So that's going to continue, like, onwards for a handful more blocks, I reckon. Okay, and then on the sides, like, I kind of had this vision of, like, how do we get the glazed terracotta in here? Well, it could do this. So a section is somewhat contained. I think it needs to be a little bit wider. Then behind that, now I did want to use the terracotta originally. This is quite bold and ambitious. Let's say we tone it down with some terracotta. So either side, we're looking at about 5 blocks of height, I think. So all of that, what we need to do is use the set commands now. What are we setting it to? Red underscore terracotta. Let's just do copy. Look, he's trying to push me out of the way now. So imagine as you go through, each of these sections changes colour. Then the top we're not even going to look at because it will probably be hidden. It will probably just be more of the same material. And then, like, imagine... Like, we fill it in sort of like this. Then come up to the next level. Aha. Right, let's do the same thing on the other side. Pretty easy process to work with, actually, this. I definitely think this thing will need to be wider. Okay, and then we need to go up again. As you can see, this just needs filling in, like, here. So yeah, with better measured spaces and whatnot, we're sort of looking for something like that. And then it'll be quite varied as you go down. I think you need to scale it up to get more out of the leaves. And then we'll put more character and more thought into this segment, but I kind of picture something like dividing it up. And I was going to go with this, but I feel like maybe something really quite... Oh wait, we're actually going to use that colour, so not that. Something quite neutral. Something that's going to match... I'm going to pick out a few blocks. I feel like we need something that matches the destination a little bit, like something we could reuse in the ice area. Iron blocks, nah. Kind of tempted for like white as a sort of neutral flat colour. Right, and those are... Oh, we're actually looking for every block, aren't we? Calcite. Clay, interestingly, might be an interesting... Interestingly, might be an interesting choice. Yeah, mushroom stem is another cool one that we have access to. Yeah, then we're kind of like running out of options beyond that point. So the mushroom stem is immediately appealing to me. I think that's going to look good with most things it goes up against. Clay's probably going to look a little too like clay. And then occasionally like rub up against the colour. Like it's going to complement the cyan too much. Calcite's a little bit on the noisy side, right? So I think mushroom stem is winning out. Mushroom stem is in the lead, peeps. Oh my god, I can't believe it. This would also work, but I think it would highlight the flatness a little too much. Now for something darker. I think we got it with the mushroom stem. It's a really nice tone. That could probably also work, just a bit heavy on the darkness, and then classic bit of andesite, bit too blocky. I think we'll go with mushroom stem. We'll give ourselves a challenge. Right. Now, this is going to be bigger, older, better, stronger, faster. What are those other words? Okay. But we want to... Dude, stop following me! We want to use more of this. I like that we're going to use the terracotta, but glazed terracotta. I think we need to arrange that a little better. We might throw in... Would we dare use sponges? Like, if I throw in a little bit of this here... Nah, I think that's going to be too much. We'll keep it nice and plain. Okay. And I was thinking about, like, what goes on the sides. So, like... I want to block behind this, but... Yeah, I want to block behind it, basically. That did not work. Oh, that's interesting. Like, if you can't open the shulker box, you right-click, but nothing happens, right? I don't know if that'll ever be useful. Fungus among us. Fungus among us, indeed. The underside of the shulker says freezing toad. Could do. Let's have a look, because I've messed around with that texture a little bit. Yeah, you see, this is the thing, like, unless you're using the default one, it's actually really quite tricky to notice it. That texture, like, the shape is there, but it's just too... There's not enough contrast. So honestly, at this point, like, I don't know quite what to try. Like, if we had a bunch of blocks like this, let's see, and then we refer to our palette. What's the universal things here? It's 1, 2, 3, like that. So, like, maybe at this level, randomize it a little. Dude, stop trying to... You can't even fit in that space. I'm not really sure that adds much, but maybe just, like, with the occasional block like that. So we're not asking for a lot, we're just doing a little bit. Get out of my face, man. I swear. I swear. You look at me one more time again. I'll tell you what. Off with you. I remembered I had strength. Off with your head. Off with your head, mate. So yeah, you got that going on. Just, yeah, that kind of works. It just throws in a little bit of the base so it's not plain. Alright, and then part of me wants to add like more shape and stuff, but because we're doing this like really color consistent thing, we're gonna have like limited options. Now I could just throw in trapdoors all the way across, which actually looks kind of cool. What other blocks add shape? We need lighting in here. Beacons would be amazing. I do really want to do like a beacon farm at some point, but I haven't quite got there yet. It starts to get a bit wild once you do that. What other shapely blocks do we have that match the iron texture, or just other shapely blocks that work together and let you do something a little different? Like, I feel like the copper is the lightning rod's a nice shape, but then it comes with the color, like it's gonna disappear in the orange area. Anvils, a bit on the dark side, possibility. And we do need lighting, don't we? So the lighting could come from the ceiling through the leaves, which I think would probably be the wrong way to do it. What lighting block is gonna like stand out among all the... Probably the redstone lamp. I'm gonna hold on to that. That will stand out. As with the end rod, absolutely. Candles. Oh my goodness me, that's the suggestion. Candles, right? Because I mean, this is the place to put candle. Yeah, okay. So actually, let's get rid of that. Let's just embrace all the colors, right? Like, this doesn't have to have any kind of uniformity. We just get to completely manipulate it ourselves. We can actually keep the thing kind of like dim. Oh, this is turning into a nice little project. Like, I don't feel like I've built like this before. And maybe not all the time they have to be lit right. So we can have like a really interesting lighting scheme where not all things are lit all the time. Yeah, so you just wander down, there's like, hang on. Yeah, like that. Oh, that's good, that's good. Okay. And I think this would have gone in pretty well somewhere because it's quite neutral, but who suggested candles? Comment off the stream right there. Look, see? He agrees. Yes. Yes, my lord. Comment. Oh. But yes, candles. We agree, we agree. Look at that headbanging. Actually, I think he's listening to Metallica. Are you listening to Metallica, dude? They got, yeah, he's definitely, he's creeping death. Oh my god. Okay. Candles is right, candles is awesome. It just matches everything we're trying to do. Now we got this gorgeous look, right? And then maybe up here, something a little extra, something a little unexpected. I'm gonna change the time back. I'm creeping death down. Okay, enough with the air guitar. I am... Oh no, we've read that one. Eternal God March. Thank you ever so much for using your Amazon Prime subscription. 15 minutes ago, I've been so engrossed, I do apologise. And also, Terrell Faye 7769 gifting a sub to Tondren. I apologise for being late on reading that one, but thank you nonetheless. AM Kurd is here for 15 months. Hey X and chat, hope you're having a great day. I'm a walk my cat now. But I'll be back later. Also, X, my name is pronounced Umshurd. Figured a year ID, I'd finally say fine. Here's the problem, my dude. There are... Oh, that was in my face. There are so many names. There are so many names. And, you know, I will butcher some, I will remember others. It's just... it's a feature, not a bug. Right, so if we like, have it transition like this... Yeah, I think what we should do... Let's go... Right, that one's the red sand. Like... See, that looks a little bit wiggity-whack, but... what can you do? I think it's just going to be like that, isn't it? Maybe let them transition a little further. So, something like that going on. And do we just want to have, like, the one section? I was kind of thinking... One's kind of easy. Like, what if you had something neutral just in the middle here? I kind of feel like I maybe just like it with one. Because then this all gets to be a little bit, like, bigger, I guess. But then what goes back there? Like... Some other material, maybe this. I don't feel like, does that add much? I feel like it does, but then when you see what's there, maybe not. Like that probably brown, as in brown mushroom. Because we're gonna have to farm a bunch to get more of the white stem, so like. That's pretty neutral looking, isn't it? It's just, does it have much of an impact? The reason I picked that other texture is because you're going to see a lot of that at the destination. I just thought it might be a way to like tie it in a bit more, so... That is really just so much easier, isn't it? But I feel like I should probably go with that one just to let you know where you're going. Yeah, let's use smooth stone so we can tie it, like, let's work a little more... Conceptually? I don't know, like we're trying to say where are you going. Like you're just gonna see that a little bit and then when you get there it just feels a bit more right. Yeah, and I think those sort of creeping into there makes sense. Then you've got this like transition bit here, like 5 blocks across. Now as for up here, I think we're really gonna have to farm a lot of this stuff and just fill it in and make life simple. So the shape up the top here will be important too, because we're going to put stone up here. Like the stone that's already there. Yeah. Right, we have all that we need. I was going to make this a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. I think it could serve to be 1 block taller, but actually, I think when you consider that it's going to be like that at night, I think the depth here, or sorry, the lighting, that, you know, it's really going to get away with it. We do have 2 beacon beams that like go through the middle of this thing, which is kind of annoying. Dang those beacon beams, right? Anyway, we have sussed out what we are doing. Basically. Haven't we? Okay then. Time to gather materials and stuff, I guess. Dang, that was pretty awesome. Just to figure that out like that. Skizzle 77, thank you for 11 months, greatly appreciated. We also got Foofy32 here for 6 months. Oh man, 6 months. It's nice to catch a stream again. Your sense of humour is great and your derps are wonderful. Thank you for all the streams and showing us what's behind the curtain. What an absolute lad. Haha. Thank you for the lovely message, my dude. Glad you enjoy the derps and the jokes. Crazy Dalton, welcome to the stream. I am indeed alive. Add glowberries to the roof. I think we want to skip that. Maybe cave vines, but the glowberries emit light, and we've kind of got our light thing sussed out with our candles. Now, candles are made from wax. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're made from string and honeycomb. Because Minecraft. In the tunnel in total, might not need more than a couple of stacks. Right, have I really ran out of string? Oh, look. It's got it on the box. And yes, I really have pretty much run out of string. Let's just take 3. I'm going to make 3 stacks of candles. I think that will be more than enough. The trick is to just bring all the dyes. 1, 2, 3. Candles. Got 'em. Okay, now we'll fetch the dyes next. I don't think green was a part of it. It started with red. Then it went to yellow. And remember, we decided 7 in total. So it's lime, and then... Oh, maybe there was green, right? Was that it? Yeah, now that I think about it, moss blocks were part of the palette. Well, in that case... How do I not have more red dye, light blue concrete. See, we got some of the things here together already. Make the beam in the tunnel a other colour, says Pata J. It's not the colour of the beam that's the issue, it's the fact that a beam will cut through the middle of the tunnel. Just kind of unfortunate how that worked out. I will think of a way in which to hide it with redstone or something though, you know. Okay, so we want some lime dye. In fact, you know, I don't know how much we're going to end up needing in total of all this stuff. Might be wise to get quite a bit of this together. So like reds, everything red goes in here. Is it me or game sounds kind of loud? Knock that down a tiny bit. By the way, the setting up of the new computer is sort of going okay. A little bit on the slow side. I've got Windows 11 installed and tweaked and bloated and got all the anti-telemetry stuff running. I had some issues creating my account. So I noticed that it gave me the username folder ism, like lowercase. And I was just like, yeah, it never gave me a choice to choose, and I don't know how to rename this and change it. So after a couple of like reinstalls and tweaking around with stuff and all of that, I got it to where I needed it to be. And so now I've got like my username correctly set up. I've actually managed to make an account that isn't signed in by default. And then I also had this bug that created a default username account. I read about it, and it's like some weird quirk where Windows just creates this like odd account and they don't know how to fix it. So I got rid of that. And yeah, and now it's kind of sitting like I put on the drivers, I've put Not a lot on, you know, just kind of getting it ready for everything to go on. And now it's like, I start looking at what's on this system, and I'm like, oh my god, you accumulate so much stuff, right, over time. And there's this, like, massive list of apps and things to install, and I'm just sort of like, got to get through some of that. But what's annoying is, like, when you move off this computer onto the other one, you have to get, like, you have to take the hardware away and make it work on the new one, because stuff like GoXLR, and this is where you need, like, a whole bunch of stuff to be done in a short amount of time so that you can stream, record, edit, upload. So you think, oh, I'm going to go ahead and do everything else in the meantime, but then you've got to keep track of, like, once you get stuff on that computer, you don't want to keep using it on this one, because then you'll, like, be out of sync, if that makes sense. This, I will just bring along because there's extra dies, you know? So yeah, it's all that, you know, moving from one computer to another, and part of me wondered, like, can you just, like, put your operating system into a different computer and update the drivers? Probably not, right? Part of me just wants to do that now. I don't think I've ever tried that, like cloning the operating system, putting it into the new machine and seeing if you can just update the drivers. I highly doubt that would work, but I don't know. There should be an easier way to, like, migrate from one system to another, though, I think. Yeah, so we need to farm. We now need to, like, farm tons and tons of stuff. In fact, I'm kind of convinced we're not going to get very far with this project today. And that's fine. I think rather than focusing on finishing it, you know, going from start to end, we should make some strident progress on a bunch of things, because I got other tasks to do here as well. I'm not sure quite what I'm looking for. I'm sort of going off of memory now. If I see it, I know I'll need it, kind of thing, like that stuff. Can make use of some slabs that we got there. Probably going to need more of that, so let's go ahead and take 4 of those over to the smelter. Oh, the smelter needs topping up. I probably need to go grab some bones from somewhere. There's stuff to be done, basically. And I'm just fishing around for things. You may want to run sysprep before cloning. I don't know what that is. Oh wow, I am just Blake says, depending on how much the new machine is different, you can do that. I have done it. Huh, some of you saying, yeah, it works. Interesting. No real risk trying. Well, at this point, I need to, like, back up the system that I've made. It works, but not recommended. I might look into it a little bit more. That's curious. Here's the other thing, though. Like, this is Windows 10. That's Windows 11. Oh, yeah, and I got another retail license for Windows 11 Pro on my old laptop, which I pulled out. I thought, oh, I wonder if I could upgrade that to 11 and just, like, upgrade the key to 11, if that makes sense. I don't think that's quite how it works. But anyway, it doesn't that laptop won't upgrade to 11, but I realised I paid like 120 quid for a Pro license, and I've got one I don't use on my old laptop. Just didn't think of it, you know. It's usually fine. It's something they do on LTT all the time, says Burptail. I never thought of doing it. If it's Win 10 and you want Win 11, it'll be more painful, says Bert. It will. And here's the other thing. It's not just like going from one to the other. You've got to plug everything into that new system, which actually is, to be fair, it's just a handful of USB cables. But I could see there being a problem with, like, you fire it up and there's all these settings that aren't quite there. Or maybe it won't. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna do it. I'll certainly think about it a little bit more. That's quite the interesting idea. Seconding system prep. Okay, I'll look into what system prep is. And, you know, I haven't done a crazy amount of stuff yet with the new thing, so maybe there's an opportunity to give this a try. Is the I/O on your new board the same, says Skyfighter? What is the I/O? H31D1W, thank you for your Amazon Prime subscription. And Wordy Zebra 16, thank you for gifting subs to our community. JB Nitro and Karuga Smiles, be sure to say thanks in the chat. Appreciate it. You can make an ISO file with the entire clone of the OS and everything. Yes, I'm aware of that, yeah. You know, cloning the hard drive and all that. Inputs, USB boards and connections. I don't know. They're different motherboards, but yeah, they're gonna definitely be different on some level, but on other levels, you know, there's USB connections. Right, I'm slowing down a little bit, so terracotta's a big one, I think. Let's go grab terracotta. So yeah, in terms, oh yeah, and then we're gonna use those ones too. So yellow and reds. Okay, might as well zap that out of there because we're going to end up using all that. We've got orange. We're going to use the light blue eventually and the cyan. Light blue, cyan, quite a bit of that. Yellow we're using. Red, lime. And that's kind of it for that. Oops. Right, the base terracotta can go into here. So I think the things to worry about here are probably just the concretes, or not worry about. Just get a good amount of concrete of each one, and then the other stuff we can kind of do later. The glaze, you know, we'll easily dye the terracotta because we've got loads of that, loads of dyes. I think just making a handful of concretes makes sense. So I need to get some bone meal for the red stuff. I played Theme Hospital and now my laptop doesn't play sound, so I'm using a portable speaker instead. Not sure if it changed settings, but I can't find any driver updates, so I'm miffed. I'd probably have a little bit of a dive into the Windows sound settings and have a look around there. It's something somewhere. System prep is resetting Windows tattooed stuff like hardware drivers so that your system ID card is blank. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly an idea and one that could save one a lot of hassle. The only issue I see is that it's probably going to involve a lot of that plug-in, unplug-in. You know, plugging in the Go XLR and the Stream Deck to make sure that stuff's detected. That might not be really the worst thing ever, though. Oh, do you know what? I should get some of that in the other one. Like, if I put a day aside to try it, it might turn out to be, like, a pretty good process. The issue, though... The issue is, like, what if there's some, like, longer-term unforeseen consequences of doing it that way, you know? I'll do, you know, I'll stop speculating now because we're streaming and stuff. I think I need a bit more of this, actually. But something to look into. I mean, I got lots of thoughts, but it's just like I'm not sure quite where. I'm so curious about the British accents. It seems everyone can tell general cardinal direction of American accents, but I've just realised I have no idea what sets British accents apart, like yours versus Stress. Well, Stress is like an Essex accent, right? There's quite a lot of diversity of accents regionally here in the UK, I guess. But, you know, depends on like what your impression of that is. To some people it might not be much at all, I don't know. For the yellow tunnel, I think using hay bales as the floor will be better than using concrete powder twice. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. We've got plenty of that stuff. We'll try and throw some in the mix. Yeah, the tops of hay bales work, didn't they? Right, so now we need gravel. Here we go. Lots of loose gravel. I think we only realistically need about like a stack of each. So if I just do this manually and take a little bit of care. So we're kind of short on light blue, cyan, and green, I noticed. So green, there's a little extra cyan, and light blue. So that means I need a bunch of cornflower. Where do I keep my cornflower? Over here. Some other flowers there too. And then some of that, I guess. Cyan's blue and red, isn't it? If I remember correctly, like that. No, that's purple. Is it blue and green? Yeah, there you go. Whoops, made way too much of that. Right, anyway, that's a bit more reasonable. So, yeah, now the colours are here, right? We'll make a stack of each, as I said. And then we'll change it to concrete as we need it when we're over there. Nice. Cool. Just want to make sure I do that right. Hot beverage, says in Polar. I think at this point it's definitely a cold beverage. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm definitely going to leave it alone now. Right, in terms of organising our colours and what we need on that front, I think we're actually pretty good. We'll obviously have to process some materials as we go. But that's going to get us started. This is cyan, this one, isn't it? So the next issue is... Oh, I thought... Oh, no, we only got 7 sections. Yeah, I thought what I just picked out would have divided down perfectly, but... No, we're making 7, not 8. Keeps us saying hydrate. No. I'm laying off drinking lots in the evening now. Okay, love this episode of Mixing Colours of X, says Nomadic Nova. We are mixing colours. Let's see. Okay. What other things do we need? The mushroom stems, the leaves. Candles were good. It's kind of just mushroom stems and leaves. When it comes to mushroom stems, we should have a project chest somewhere with it all in. There's some. That's probably all of it, isn't it? Right, not enough for our tunnel, that's for sure. So we also need the means to get our hands, yikes, on more azalea. I thought I would have had some of those little azalea bushes. Have I built a moss farm yet? Like, have I done that? I don't recall doing that. I think I'll leave that for now because I have plans and projects that involve that stuff. So really it's just mushroom stems. Okay. We're going to need some bones for bone meal. Where are the mushrooms at, homie? Are they in this one? I think they're in this one. The red ones certainly are. And I think the brown ones, I think they're easier to harvest. I don't know. We'll try the brown ones. Right, and I'm going to need like a silk touch axe. This one. It's not a silk touch. How did I do this before? How did I do this before? We did this a little while ago. We did it on stream. Peeps, can you tell me? If I use my silk touch pick, it's going to be slow on the mushroom block, right? Whereas what I want is a silk touch axe. So we'll probably just go ahead and make one. I don't have netherite though. I used up all my netherite. Blue candle. Yellow candle. How did I miss them? Oh wait, blue isn't even. You know, it's not even. Right. You did, I just can't remember if it was this season, says Skyfighter. If we're talking about the mushroom blocks, definitely did it this season. By the way, the one, the only, the legend, it's Randy Nicole 2002 for 96 months. 7 minutes ago. I'm too engrossed with all these colours in front of me. Thank you, Randy, for all you do. Greatly appreciated. Club 100 approaching, my dude. That's incredible. That's insane. Talking about colours, it's proven that some animals can see more colours than us. Isn't that weird? You can't think of a new colour, says Biggie Diggy. I don't know that you can't think of one. I think it's kind of easy to conceive that there would be more colours in the spectrum. Like, but here's the thing. We see a colour that doesn't exist, for example. Right? Magenta doesn't actually exist in the light spectrum. Where is magenta? Magenta, that one, you know, I'm talking about the super bright magenta. It's a result of seeing blue and red at the same time. Blue is on one end of the spectrum, red is on the other. Magenta isn't anywhere on there in the light spectrum. But when you show those two different ends of what we can see, our brain creates this magenta colour. Chat, why does no one have the answer for me? Do I need a Silk Touch axe to instant mine it, right? I think I'm just going to go make a Silk Touch axe. Okay, that will solve this problem. These can stay here for now. We're just on farming duty. So, a few diamonds, buying some books from Impulse, a trip to the end. Actually, I don't need to take a trip to the end. Impulse left! Oh, it's just about, you know, to buy some. Another JT says, yes, you need a Silk Touch axe for shroom harvesting. Thank you, my dude. Shroom harvesting it is. Okay. I think I'm going to switch to standing, which means I'm probably going to end up nipping to the loo, as they say. As they say? That's what you say, X. Okay, must now walk sideways. Right. Skyfighter says no silk. Oh, I see what you mean now. No silk will drop small mushrooms. Yeah, it will. It will. I was thinking. I thought you were saying silk wouldn't. I was thinking like, what? How'd you get your hands on it then? I think he heard buy from Impulse and came back. Definitely. Oh, he's gone again. Oh dear. Don't know what that means. Dude be crab walking in the Nether. I was temporarily crab walking. Right. Ugh. Sound effects. Wait, where am I going? It's like this way. Actually, no, it's in both places, isn't it? I'm going to go here because that's where we went last time. Colour is fun. It's interesting how eyes perceive colour. I mix a lot of paint and help people choose what to go for. Light can also affect how a colour can be seen. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Right, now that I'm over here, but more importantly now that I'm standing, I need to nip to the loo. Oh dang it, this isn't where the books are. Well, I think it's safe to AFK here. So, peeps, don't go anywhere. I will be... Wait, where's my... There it is. Is that it? Is that the button I'm supposed to press? Anyway, I'll be right back, peeps. Don't go anywhere. Alright, I'm back. Don't worry, don't panic. Jeez, it's okay, I'm still here. I just had to relieve myself. What? Okay, let's go. Let's get back into it. Hi, I'm here. Alright. Thanks for the Webbers. The Webbers in the chats. Okay. Where am I going even? It's on a different floor, isn't it? And I don't know what floor it's actually on. Wait, I'm going to do this the cheeky way. Yeah, there we go. Here we are, looking for Silk Touch, also efficiency 5. So that's one book. Wait, it's probably a popular. Probably is a popular. 2 books. Efficiency 5, Silk Touch, Unbreaking, and Mending. That's pretty much all I need on an axe. I'm not going to bother with anything else. That's 4 diamonds, right? In go those. Hey! Zora! Spinamara! 23 months. Appreciate it ever so much. Thank you for your support. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Thank you, thank you. Good to see you again. Right. You know those 3 diamonds I put back? I could have used them to make an axe. That's the next step. Is it not 2 diamonds per? No, it's 1 for me. 1 diamond a book for me. Let's see. Crafting bench, there's 1 right there. We need to do something about this tunnel. Like, is it called a tunnel? This track. I feel like it just needs a little bit of building up. Needs a bit of structure. Is that diagonal thing over there kind of new? Oh, I think it's soul sand, so it's a part of this. Just kind of ends here, doesn't it? This needs sorting out, like whatever's going to happen here. And then I think it needs a little bit of structure around it because it's kind of a bit wild at the moment. Yeah, I like seeing stuff all kind of like tied up and finished, right? That's why I've been tying up a lot of loose ends lately. Oh god, I've got to sneeze. Oh, that was wild. Oof. The idea of the highway was cool, but it's such an eyesore to Skyfire. It doesn't have to be an eyesore, like, that's what I'm saying. It needs finishing. Could be a cool, fun, communal project just to come together and, you know, make it happen. Maybe you could do the spider farm entrance and claim the diamonds. What's that? X, why do you wear the Halloween killer mask? Do you mean, yeah, I know what you mean. It's not Halloween, is it? It's Scream. I guess Scream is a... What's the original movie and what's the parody? Scary Movie is a parody of Scream. Yeah, it's not the Halloween killer mask. That's, Michael Myers, right? I annoy myself when I make those lip smack sounds. I'm like, there it is. Don't do that. Free is usually, yeah, free is usually pretty darn cheap. As is 2. Then 8. Or 10. I'll take 8. Okay, Silky Axe. No, wait, what do we call this? Doom. Guys. Silky Axe? I don't know. You got literally seconds to come up with something better than that, chat. My tolerance is low. I'll be looking for a short amount of time. Doom Tender Axe. Paper cut. Chopper. Favorite Doom game, says Ninzevo. The one with the one with the gun that you shoot at the demons. That one. That's definitely my favorite Doom game. Doom Guy's knife. Chopper. I think I like Chopper. Slice and dice. I wanted to say silky, but want like a silky pun in there that makes sense for Doomguy. Doomguy's slice and dice. And that's Doomguy's axe. Silky slicer sounds kind of cool. Doomguy's silky slicer. Now, how do we do it? It's that golden orange. So like bold, false on the italic, and then is it that one or that one? I think it's this golden one. Yeah, that's it. Doomguy's silky slicer. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's silky smooth, I think. Where should we go to do this? Like just some random place. There should be like a designated kind of like wasteland like area, you know, just a place. Where do we go to do this? Like maybe we just go to Impulse's base and like I don't know, I was thinking if someone's online just go get in their face and no, it doesn't make any sense, does it? Doesn't make any sense. Somewhere with a nice background, basically. I think I'm just going to pop through here and have a look. Somewhere with Podzol. What would be the use of that? That's an interesting suggestion. I am honoured to have assisted in the naming of tools, says Nomadic Nova. It is the greatest of honours, my friend. The greatest. Yeah, I love that I colour-coded all of this now. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, this is a pretty good spot, just out here. I'm going to use this space. Oh, there's like random... Oh, someone was growing azalea trees out here. Right, I need some of those azalea bushes myself. Right. Okay, okay. The preparation is... Now I know why Podzol was suggested. God, I'm an idiot. I forgot all about that. You can't... Oh. Sort it out, X. Sort it out. Yeesh. Well. To a place with Podzol and also chickens. We will go. What is your favourite day of the year? Mine is February 29th, says a cookie boy. Mine's March the 32nd. Ah, look at me. I'm so funny. Jeez. Jeez. Think I'm brand new, do ya? Think I'm brand new? Enderbram, thank you for 22 months. Appreciate it, my dude. Appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Out of all the servers you have, which one is your favourite? What farm is at this place? Cow farm. I'm not sure that's Podzol either. I don't know what you mean by that. Like, do you mean... I don't know. I don't know. February 29th is a real day, though. Isn't it, though, most of the time it's 28th and it ends? I thought that was the joke. On a leap year it's 29? Yeah. Oh, look. The mushrooms are already here for me. Yeesh. And if I wanted to, I could be super lazy and just leave all this behind. Because it's a get wrecked area. I'll clean it up eventually. Interesting. Don't really want to waste much of this bone meal as it goes. Just kind of curious, like, what you can get away with doing this. I'm building a roof, you know? It's like the good old days of Minecraft. Just building myself a roof over here. Don't mind me. Right, might there be a quicker way to do things? Yeah, I'm kind of like juggling 3 different items, and I do have an offhand. I'm not sure. Actually, I think that makes sense in the offhand. So it's like place. No, okay, that doesn't make sense that way around. Maybe the axe is the thing to have. No. Maybe that way around. So, like, do that. Okay, that actually kind of worked, didn't it? Yeah, I think what I really need is like a flat area to like wander across. I think I know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to set up like a strip of podzol and like walk across it. No, that doesn't even make any sense. Oh, the chick knees. It's working. Hey X, have you ventured into the world of beatbox yet? The level of skills these days is superhuman. A single person can sound like a full track. There were people that did that like way back in the day, like that. What was his name? Raziel or something? Had this amazing song, If Your Mother Only Knew. And he's like singing whilst beatboxing and stuff and doing the bass line. Amazing. Amazing stuff. Dang. So many blocks, just the wrong ones, right? Way better than Roselle. Well, you know, Roselle was like a legend pioneer, like back in the day. Yeah, I imagine it's probably come a long way since then. That's just what I know of it. That's what I remember. That guy being a big deal. That was like pre-YouTube. Now to think about it, that you would see those videos. I don't know how those got around. I think maybe they were just sort of like shared on torrent or something. You see wrong blocks, I see profits, says Ripoff Maple. I don't know. I don't know. Does someone want a whole bunch of brown mushroom? Because, yeah, okay. Maybe there's something to be done with them. Wow, that was an incredibly tall one. My mind is sort of like wondering about automation a little bit here. Like if you had some sort of contraption to move some of the blocks away so you could just continuously plant these a little quicker. And part of me just wants to leave some of this stuff behind as well, just because it takes time. Like, how much have we got? Like, not even a stack yet. Wow, that's really bad, actually. On a specific website, says CJ. Do you remember what website it was? Because, dang, like... I'm thinking like early noughts. Pre-Facebook. Pre-YouTube. Like GeoCities. I don't know. I think it's probably one of those videos you would get over like ShareBear or Kazaa or Napster or something. Whatever those things are called. Etho is a really cool, partially automatic brown mushroom farm on his Let's Play series. Yeah, I know Etho's got one. I just can't remember like how it works. I mean, I've got some thoughts as to how you could possibly do this. The thing is, you need to place the mushrooms yourself, right? You can't... A dispenser can't... Oh my god, another one. A dispenser can't place the mushrooms. I'm not sure. Tango set up a semi-automatic shroom farming area under his base. It may be gone now. Oh yeah, Decked Out is developing. I love what Tango did with the map in the latest Decked Out. If you have hung out here before, you've probably heard me talk about how I would like to do game design again. I used to make custom maps and do things like that in Minecraft. But I haven't really had like a great idea in a long time. And I've had a few ideas like bringing back cube control, but I don't know. Like it kind of hinges on Minecraft PvP, and yeah, I've sort of like decided to like stop worrying about it too much. Like I get all kind of weird with my own creativity, like feeling like I need to constantly follow up on ideas that are in my head and stuff, and I just kind of like try to let go of them a bit these days. I've got like a couple of little game dev type things that I'm working on, but one day I would like to apply that to Minecraft, like I mean like on Hermitcraft in like a really fun, interesting way that the other hermits could enjoy. And Tango's obviously a key inspiration for that, and just seeing him pull out the map and do the clever stuff with that. I was like I wonder if you could make a mini game using the map itself. I was thinking a little, and I just haven't had the time to like sit down and properly try it, but like this, if you imagine as like a chessboard, like, and then you get some custom textures on some blocks, or you cleverly pick some units and rename them, and then you have some rules and you create a game. I haven't really gone anywhere with that idea. And then you can kind of extend the same thing to a map. I was thinking, well, with a map you can make your own grid, your own layout, and interact with redstone, so you can give the player some controls. But as much as like you can see ways to do things in the game, like there's no core game idea underneath any of that really. And I haven't had a spark of anything for quite some time. I think that game that we made in season 7, where you use the fishing rods and the armor stands, was pretty darn cool, pretty fun. And then I had a bunch of ideas to level it up, but it all would have involved after that using probably data packs and stuff, like putting hit points on the armor stands, and I kind of wanted to avoid doing it that way. Might be cool to revisit at some point. It's amazing to think that there is over 10 members in Hermitcraft. Wow. X server RAM must be good and all that data mumbo info and X redstone machines. There's more than 10 people in Hermitcraft. There's about 24 of us, I think. And when it comes to the server, RAM isn't really a big factor in Minecraft. In fact, too much RAM slows your system down. Talked about that the other day, actually. One of these videos of like Minecraft, but 128 gigs of RAM, and I'm thinking, if you put 128 gigs on it, you're literally slowing it down. Like, that's not how the game works. Oh, some of you are saying 26, 27. Dang, I mean, I can't keep count. I can't keep up. It's a lot of hermits. Yeah, I guess there's technically more than 10. Yeah, there's more than 10. But, you know, the game has been optimized. Performance has increased over time. And we recently upgraded for this season our hardware, and it made quite a difference, actually. I didn't really think it would. We looked at a lot of, like, comparisons of, like, what we were going to get compared to what we had, and it really looked like a marginal, you know, 5% increase or something like that, and it's turned out to actually be really good. But that also came around with, like, a Minecraft update, and, you know, using sodium and fabric, so it's all kind of like, it's not just one isolated thing, essentially. What CPU does Hermitcraft server use? Well, we just got the fastest single-threaded performance server we could. That's the trick. That's why I went with an Intel for my new computer, because AMD may be better for general gaming, but for playing Minecraft, you want that single-threaded performance because of how Minecraft is coded. That's how you get all the frames. Believe it or not, like a CPU does a lot of heavy lifting. It might not be so much true anymore. Like, definitely was back in the day, but they keep updating and developing this game and putting in optimizations and slowly like moving stuff in a good direction. So over time, maybe it's a little less like that than it used to be, but it certainly used to be like that. The average gamer isn't going to see much difference between an Intel and AMD CPU, says Burt Potato. It depends what you mean by average gamer. Yeah, to me, a lot of the high-end stuff always looks like splitting hairs. And I think one of the reasons it's looked like that for me for some time is because I'm pretty satisfied with like a 60 Hz monitor. It could be that you get a bit more juice out of 90 Hz. At some point, though, it just seems like your eyes aren't really going to see much of a difference. Like, for me, the difference between 4K and 1080 is just non-existent. Like, I don't see it. That's just the way my eyes are. So, I don't really want to game at 4K, and therefore, you know, I don't need that. I don't need those marginal differences to see it. I would argue that AMD is caught up pretty close to Intel, but Intel still has the lead. I think AMD has overtaken them on like general performance, right? Like multi-core performance, but Intel still holds the single-threaded, which is what I'm after. So yeah, like the other thing is like what you need to take advantage of multi-threading. I remember I've always been into computers in a kind of you know, I use one so often and I like to know about it and I like to tinker and tweak with a few things. So I've always sort of been relatively up to speed on this stuff. You know, understanding components and like what the different technologies are. These days, maybe I'm a bit behind the curve on some stuff. I don't know, but I remember when multi-threading came out and the first dual-core CPUs were like hitting the market, and I really wanted to get one. Right, I couldn't wait to get a dual-core CPU. But then the problem was there wasn't really a lot of stuff taking advantage of it. It was like when 64-bit first came out. You kind of just you got a 64-bit computer and it was like this will be good for the future. But then it was maybe like by the time my second or third 64-bit computer that you had like, you know, actually had some software and stuff like really taking advantage of it. Same thing for multi-core processing. It's like taking time for other things to catch up to it too. I really need a shulker box that's empty. Oh, look at that. There's one that's empty right there. Monitor FPS is a better thing to look for than resolution. Personal opinion. Though I prefer a smoother image with a higher refresh rate after going for 4K. I'd probably be the same. I don't really want to like upgrade my monitors either because I like to make stuff last. And I've got, excuse me, 3 paired monitors. For me, the deal would be finding someone who could like make use of it. I hate having stuff lying around not getting used, you know. Like I've got 2 computers that I need to like shift and find someone to give them to. But like one of them's got like a 970 in, and it's like I could give it to someone who will use it for Microsoft Word, or you know what I mean. Like I want it to go to someone who will make use of that hardware and whatnot. So it's the same thing with the monitors. It's like you just want to get them into the right people's hands, I guess. Probably the better way to go would be like to donate them to a school or something, right? Noises in my eardrum. Tunkerout's here for 12 months, half a year. Enderbrand for 22, and Mad Cow Chow is popping in for 41. Hello, what do you have to drink in your sippy cup today? Decaf coffee that's cold and will not be touched anymore. It will not be touched anymore. I think we need to do some diggy hole next. Now I've done. Wait, no. Technically, this is digging, isn't it? I've been breaking blocks. I feel like I want to place them. I just need a change. I need a change in the environment. Let's. Yeah, this'll get us started. I don't think it'll do the whole thing, but it might not leave us with too much left. You know, we'll soon find out. In fact, we can probably put in the framework if we start doing the digging. So, for now, let's move forward with our projects or project for the day. And I did wanna talk about something in particular a little bit, but I don't think my brain's really there right now. Let's shelve that idea. Let's get some talky topics in the chat. What things do you want to know about? What's going on in the world? What's interesting? What's happening? Let's talk about some stuff. I spend all this time listening to these fascinating videos about things going on in the world, and then I'm like, oh, I'll waffle about that, and then just forget about it. One thing I really like clicked onto lately is that I really like stories. I think I like real life stories about particular subjects and stuff. I really enjoyed a couple of like autobiographicals. Tried my hands on a sci-fi novel, which was interesting. Got another one to get to at some point. But then listening to these podcasts about hacking and stuff, I kind of realised that I really like things through the narrative of story sometimes. So like listening to a podcast that's also a story about something, that's kind of great. Biggie Diggy says, the last snapshot changed the lighting engine. Is that going to change the performance? Yes, yes. No, I did a test. Saw some immediate benefits. Like, it seemed rather big, but, you know, hard to say with a quick test. Okay, I'm looking at chat. UK blocked Microsoft's acquisition of Blizzard. Yeah, okay, so there's something I don't have too much to say on. I don't know why they blocked it. I heard about it. Possibly an anti-monopolistic move. I wouldn't know what to tell you on that one. I just remembered something that's kind of annoyed me. This is 8 sections and not 7 for a reason, right? That reason... The reason is because... it goes down 7. So the fix really there is to knock this down by 1 block to begin with, isn't it? We're going to have to do some awkwardness, I think. Although last time we used some tools to help us with that. Let's try that again. So, yeah, that box needs renaming. That will do. Clear space box. Now we need to add another... We need to add a line. Yeah, we need to add a line. So... set here. Not quite sure how this is going to look. Trixie says, look at all the LPMT derps in chat. We've got some LPMT derps in chat. And then we come down to here. You know, it might not be the line. All the buttons, gosh. It might not be the line itself that we need. But more so just to understand the distance, right? Which appears to be... that number has gone down. So, is that 100 and a little bit? Like 109, I think? Okay, so 109, if I were to divide that using my brain, like, how else do you do division? By 7, that's 15.571428571285.7. Yeah, that sounds about right, doesn't it, peeps? Totally sounds about right. Wasn't doing something else on the computer then, no. You can always wiggle things by a block or two, but when you get like a half, that's annoying. Also... oh, Lucky John, that was an interesting question. So is Curls. If you want to chuck those in chat, Curls, we'll come back round to those. See, here's the... every time this gets me, right? Every time this gets me. Our wiggle room is to go less than the amount I just subscribed, because we can clearly go this way, but going this way is going to be a bit more problematic. So the number we devised was 109. We're going to go use this world right here and try and do it in an intelligent way. Let's say 100 divided by 7 is... how do you reverse these numbers? 15 times 7 equals 105. And then we got these, like, threes in between, and there'll be 6 of them. Unless as a yeah, I think I want that as a transition, right? On this side, and potentially even like a little double up, rather than going straight into it. I think I won't go for the double up at the beginning. Okay. So we're looking at 1... no, let's count this first. So 3 blocks times 6. That's 18. 20 for the 1 at either end. So 20 blocks will be reserved for that. Now 125 was bigger than our original number. What was our original number again? Wasn't it 109? 98 plus 20 would be too big. So making these sections 7, I like that because it would be odd in the middle, but it might just be that it has to be 12. Then it'd be 104, and our original number was 109, right? Okay, so let's go back very quickly while I've got that in my head. It's going to be 12 from the beginning, so I can use these as markers and just pick them up again. Mad Cow Chow says X is doing maths. I'm literally doing the math. So we have to go down by 1. So this will be a step down. Immediately. I might just leave a gap there. Nah, I don't think I will. Actually, the width of the room is important too. Oh gosh. Now I'm calculating too much. See if we can make it work. I didn't want to make the width any more than what we had. So the width is 5 blocks. That's all I needed to know. Good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put them here? No. 1 block further out. It's dark here, isn't it? So that's going to be like the first pillar. Except we're just going to put down markers. Then we have 12 blocks. This is where I've got to do some counting. Is that right though? Because this is the floor. Yes. And that's where the glazed terracotta would be, right there. So yeah, okay, we're good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I'm not sure if I broke an extra block there or not. Cow, you're just in the way. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That means we have 1 and 1. And somewhere here we need to go down a block. That's something I failed to consider, wasn't it? If you need 7s, just do the length of 112 instead of 109. We need to make the number smaller, not bigger than 109. That's why. So I totally forgot that it goes down by 1. Obviously that'll happen around this height. X, what do you think is better, cookies or waffles? Definitely waffles. Definitely waffles. I'm not really into treats and desserts and stuff, so like waffles is more savoury, you know. I kind of like the waffles plain. Like, not loaded with syrup and stuff. Yeah, and here's those awful beams I was telling you about. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11... Oh, did I just break 2? 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. That should be that. Aha. Yeah. Oh, it feels so slim, this tunnel, doesn't it? Right, also, I don't want to constantly use stone. I don't want to pick it up. I need cobble. Always silk touching everything. It's a problem. And this thing, it don't have a texture, does it? We've got a noise in the ear. It's Mind Kibbles 21 subscribing. Thank you ever so much. I appreciate it. I need to close that calculator. What? I was doing all those calculations with my brain, I tell you. What is my favourite biscuit? I don't really eat biscuits, but Hobnob's pretty fantastic. I haven't had Hobnob in years. Mystical Maid says no chocolate for X. Oh, I eat dark chocolate. 100% cocoa. Ate a bunch today. Pretty much every day I'll have like a piece of it. It's gorgeous. I love it. It was my birthday exactly 1 year ago, says Messy Acorn. Dang it! A whole year ago? Oh, man. Like, you should have told me back then. We could have said happy birthday or something. I guess we'll have to wait now. you know, for the next one. Dark chocolate is the best, says Butter. Butter leg it flies? No, Butter legit it flies. Yeah, I love the old dark chocolate me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You go here. Yeah, and supposedly dark chocolate's really good for you. You know, it doesn't have all that sugar in it, which helps. Ah, Liger, thank you so much. Yes, those are the 2 questions. What do you think about the esports industry, X? Do you think it's possible for it to be very profitable in the future? I think you'll find that esports is incredibly profitable already. Esports is a huge deal. I think it's just one of those things where the mainstream, if you like, the legacy media just hasn't caught up to how big it is. I mean, gaming is absolutely huge. It's a huge industry. And I think there's some parts of the world that just, well, not world, like, it's more like a demographic thing where older generations just haven't seen the shift. They don't understand it or know it. And so something like esports is like already massive, just in the legacy media world they're just slow to it. So like, what do you think is going on in the world? What is your perception of like what other people know, or what the thing is, right? That everyone's talking about. A lot of the time, why did I come back here? I needed something. A lot of the time, I just operate on this idea of like, forget this idea of what's going on and what's happening in the world, and just focus on what you like. And the things that appeal to you and that you enjoy, and don't try and relate it to some bigger bandwidth of like, do people know about this? I'm sort of speaking to something I experienced myself. I can't remember what I came back here for, which was like feeling this need for like more people to like what you like, or something like that. You know, I was the kind of guy who, whenever I'd see my friends, I'd like force some new metal. Ah, that was it. I need the shovel. I'd be the one who'd be like, oh, listen to this band, listen to this song I found. Like, this sort of outwards projection of stuff that I liked elsewhere into the world. And then I believe I see the same thing elsewhere in other people. I think oh, that reminds me of my own behavior, kind of thing, which is this need. You know, when people are like, oh my god, you've never heard of so and so. I probably say that on occasion, but like, there's so much stuff going on in the world. It's like you can't know all of it. But then there's like this layer of like legacy stuff, which we kind of, everyone kind of gets a little bit of understanding that that's a thing that just a lot of people pay attention to, like whatever's on BBC One, you know, and BBC News and stuff. Like, you do have these like concentrations of it. Esports organisation Copenhagen Flames just filed for bankruptcy yesterday. How many esports organisations are they? Are they 1 of 10 or 1 of a million? Like, I have no idea how to contextualise what that means. That brings me to my other thought about like story and stuff, is just how storytelling can be so narrativized and kind of like lead you in a direction, right? Like, I don't know nothing about esports and this Copenhagen Flames thing, but like, you can make it sound like a big deal when you talk about it in a particular way. Again, like, are they like the biggest esports organization ever, and this is a signal that something's changing and things won't be the same again? Or are they like a tiny organization and this is just like a blip that doesn't affect anyone? Like, there's that ability for a story to like try and tell you something that's like a bigger picture, right? I feel like I could really do a better job at saying what I'm trying to say right now. It's just not coming out right today, it feels like. There's something I'm trying to get at, and I'm not sure if I'm really making much sense. Anyway, I say this because I've noticed on YouTube there's like a lot of these like think piece videos, and I've been really into them for a while, listening to people talk about various topics, and they get you really interested in it. And there's loads of channels doing it, just making cool, interesting, topical content, sort of like a mix of storytelling about culture and stuff. But every now and then, like you find, I don't know, some of them just feel like the template came first, and then they found a story to fit it. Like I've listened to some recently. Maybe it's just like a change in me or something. But I'm listening to this, and I'm like, this is actually really boring. But like, somehow it's got all these beats, and it's got like the learning music. I call it the learning music. You know, like if you watch a Vox video, like pay attention to the music, and there's all this like do 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 like going on as they like shift and pivot, and then they'll say it like a little statement where they're like, "But did you know?" And it goes do 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 boo 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 boo, and then it's got this like really weird learning music vibe. And I've noticed that like some creators are making these narrative videos, discussion videos, topical videos, and they've got that format, but sometimes the actual thing they're talking about is like really not that interesting, but it's all about like making it as interesting as you can sound. Does that make sense right there? Right, this is the end of the tunnel, by the way, so it's in a pretty good position actually, right there. I think that's some good work. We can kind of, excuse me, mouth burps and stuff, kind of move to the next stage of carving it out. Astral Spiff does that, I think, says Bear. I don't recognise the channel name, but it sounds like a name for a channel like that. Like, here's one that I like, Cold Fusion, right? And I think for the most part, they do a pretty good job of writing and then orating into a video stuff that I'm interested in, and kind of catching the cultural beat in a decent way. And then there's other channels like that that don't do it quite as well. I don't really want to name names when it comes to stuff I don't like, because I am just talking about my own experience, my own perception here. But some of them that do that, it just feels like, I don't know, is it like the YouTube machine of like having to always make content that you're just trying to find a topic to put into one of those kind of formats, you know? With that tone and that temperament of like, I'm going to tell you something really cool and we're going to get into it. I was flicking through some videos on my TV earlier today, and like 3 of them all started the same way, where they jump right into the middle of a story. Like it starts with that kind of like ability to like grab your attention because it goes right into the middle of something. We got noises in the ear from Blue Side Paul for 7 months. Hi X, hope you're having a great day. Thank you, my dude. I'm having a terrific day, a long day because I woke up so early. And Mind Kibbles is here, not only subscribing, I'm not actually sure if I read that out, so thank you for subscribing again and throwing some cheers and biddies my way. Appreciate you supporting our channel here. Appreciate it, thank you. Bean Ragu says the music builds suspense and makes you interested to get that harmonic resolution. Yeah, you're getting it. Like, the music is a part of the construct too. What I'm getting at is, I think maybe I've just consumed so much of this stuff now that, like, I start to recognise the format a bit more than the story, and then I kind of realise that I'm not that interested in the story, but the whole format is like, hey, here's this thing that you should be really interested in. I don't know. More cheers and biddies from Mind Kibbles 21. Thank you again. Thank you. Appreciate you again supporting the channel. Can't thank you enough. No message with that. Look, I'll look out for you in chat if you've got a message. Mind Kibbles says X joy. and gives me the thumbs up. Cheers. Cheers. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a thing I've noticed of late. I just wonder, has anyone else sort of seen that or felt that way at times a little bit? By the way, the floor that we're building could actually start level, because technically I've got to mine these 5... Oh, let's just use the cam quickly. If I just come over here... Yeah, I think the floor definitely has to go down here. We're not going to mess about. So, stair blocks, right? And then it starts here with our mangrove wood section. I might actually just focus on getting those floor pieces in today. Be kind of cool. Kind of a little bit of an object. Whoa! Minecraft just crashed. I don't think I've seen it crash like that in I don't know how long. Average Sing says X. I'd suggest watching Tom Scott's feature on the WVFRM podcast. Okay. WVFRM. Thanks for the suggestion. That never happens, says Trixie. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it crash quite like that. Like, I clicked and it just went, nope. Thanks for that suggestion. I really like Tom Scott. Another channel that I follow. And his standard for quality is always top notch. That's why he's such a juggernaut on YouTube, you know, because like he absolutely nails what he's trying to do. Mystical Maid, thank you so much for cheers and biddies. The cheers are coming in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Whenever I say that, all I ever hear in my head is what's his name, Rob Flynn, on that Machine Head record, live in London or whatever it's called. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Just like getting well into it. I don't know why that's like. Everyone's got little bits like that, right? Don't you? Don't you have little things like that that stick in your head? And they're like your own little quirks and oddities where you hear something and it just reminds you of something odd that only ever you really know about. I would try to think of some more, but I don't know, there's like little phrases or things that people say and like you hear it and it makes you think of something in a particular way. We all have them. I just, you know, you don't think, oh, this is something I need to tell people about. So it pops into my head when I'm streaming. It's kind of like hard to remember all of them because there's probably too many of them. Right, I'm having a look at chat. Oh, I actually had another message here. Curls recommends Johnny Harris videos for RL Stories. Fantastic channel. Dude won an Emmy for his work. I like his channel. I pretty much watch every video. There was one point in time that really kind of annoyed me with his content, and it had something to do with colonialism. And like on occasion, I notice on YouTube sometimes creators come out with the same content at the same time. And I believe it's a case of just like source material. You know, some publication puts out an interesting article and then they got something that they want to talk about with a YouTube video. But in this one, like, it was full of these inaccuracies that I had previously seen in someone else's work and happened to know that these things were like false. And what annoyed me more is like the nature of the storytelling was like really oversimplified. And like he boils down a lot of historical characters to like, dude, whoa, and then they were like, oh my god, we're gonna come over here and take all your stuff, and it annoys me because I'm like, you can do better than this. Like, his content is great, and I'm not trying to knock the guy. I can't do any of what he does, like, but in those moments, that style of storytelling sometimes like shows its weakness, and Especially when you're getting it wrong on a topic. Like, it's the one to do with the Panama Canal. And it was interesting because the video was so similar to this other one that I'd seen on YouTube that then had a bunch of like back and forth with other creators for being historically inaccurate and like getting things wrong. And then, you know, his video seemed to have like the same problems. I think it's just important to like cite your sources because everyone's taking inspiration from what's going on in the world and history and whatnot, but like it's important to do that. So yeah, I don't know, like just it really, that moment though when he got it wrong kind of really highlighted the style of storytelling for me, and now I sort of can't unsee it, and I find what he does really engaging. But I see now how the style of presentation has such a huge sway on how you find the video interesting. I was listening to a podcast this morning about phone tapping and stuff like that, and there's like a lot of suspense and build up and mystery, and then later on in the story you find out, oh, but like that thing that we talked about earlier turns out this, and like you learn more details about it, right? But then you can also kind of like realize that you're being told these things in that order in order to make the story more compelling, because you realize, hang on a minute, like the order of events here, you've left that information out earlier in the story and then you've put it in later. And I don't know, like good storytelling is good storytelling, but it's just, again, it's like one of these mechanics. Because nothing's ever just that straightforward and simple, right? So it's like creating content is like influenced by other factors too. Wow, this thing's giving me a hard time. You can make all these criticisms of me too, and I'll be like completely open about it. Like, if you're watching a video of mine and thinking like, this is part of the YouTube content treadmill, I'll be like, yeah, that's it. And I'm cool with it. Like, I come on here on Hermitcraft, I have fun. I like doing what I do. I've also got to turn it into an episode. I've got to try and make these things I find interesting. And I'll do that with like different ways of structuring an episode, and you know, you can look into all that stuff any way you like. But it's like it's that what's that phrase? There's this phrase that I always feel like it's something I want to understand deeper, but I think it's called the interpolation of opposites or something, and it's like this political theory about how something that is the opposite or is opposed is always entangled with the thing it's opposed against. So it's like nothing is ever free of its opposite. So if you make YouTube videos, you can't ever be free of that. Like, you know, oh, I just do it for fun. It's like there's other factors involved. There's always that tug of war with something else. I think that's what the theory is about. I watch a podcast from a truck driver, and I love how he tells history like no one. Sounds cool. I literally picture them doing the podcast while they're driving. Mind Kibbles 21 is here. More cheers and biddies again. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for supporting the channel, my dude. And I apologise for being 4 minutes late on that one. I've been going down the waffle. I think he is actually referring to what happened with that video in the Bermuda Triangle. He was addressing criticism there, as far as I understood it, and he owned up to that, and I respect that. Yeah, no, he did reply to various criticisms, and I think he's made improvements upon that, which is great. Yeah, I just that moment as a viewer for his channel was like really like highlighted for me as a viewer. Someone who likes what he's doing. I watched him back in the day on Vox. I think Vox is a great place to learn about stuff. And he was doing great content over there as well. Like, you want to see these people succeed and get it right. Like, what I'm saying is not trying to like knock them down or anything like that. Sometimes I like watching an American man catching a swarm of bees. He's interesting. I mean, you caught my attention there. Catching swarms of bees. American man? An American man? Does this American man have like a name? Oh, I loved his Vox videos. They were really in depth, says Zippy Post. They certainly were. They were really good. Good stuff. Him and another one who went independent. What's her name? Chloe Abrams? I feel like I'm getting that right. Huge if true. I don't think she's really like finding much. I don't know. Like, when I say success, I'm talking about views. I really like her content too. She also left Vox to go independent, but I don't think she's like seen, you know, it hasn't popped off, as they say. These young'uns talking about it popping off all the time. What's popping? My eardrums. You're all too loud, you young'uns. Jeez. No, that's what's popping off. You and your loud music, you young'uns. Jeez. Yeah, I'm not sure that her channel's like really popped off or anything, but she makes fantastic content as well. Like, clearly, like, being at Vox, you know, either Vox, like, picked out some serious talent, or, like, just being there, like, teaches you so much. Mind Kibbles again! Thank you so much, my dude. Gifting subs to the community. Greatly appreciated, my friend. Purple Pancake 6, Smee Jake, Zayden, Von Morjo, JCL480, Loneliest Ghost. Be sure to say thanks in the chat. Y'all been gifted subs. You got those emotes, you got those other things. What other things are there? I think there's just emotes, basically. Now we keep it simple around here. Kyle Hill also went independent. He worked at Nerdiest before and did Because Science. Yeah, I really like Kyle Hill. Awesome communicator. And it's his what do we call it? Radiation. I feel like I just picked like the worst word. There's a word for this type of topic. Nuclear. Is it nuclear? Radiation? Nuclear disaster? I feel like there's a word I'm missing that he would call it. You know, like stuff to do with Chernobyl. That content, absolutely amazing. Really love it. Why do I feel like nuclear says cars? Is it nuclear? I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's another word he uses for it. He calls it Half-Life Histories. Half-Life Histories, there you go. Yeah, that series is awesome. Yeah, really, really good content. Fallout. Fallout is a part of that like sphere of things related to it, right? Like nuclear, fallout, energy, disaster, Chernobyl, whatever. I want to watch the HBO Chernobyl series at some point. I've been watching House of Dragon. I find that show a little bit confusing. The way it jumps forward in time, like 5 episodes in, is like a bit much. Someone's got to explain to me, like, oh, I don't know, like this one character in it. I don't. Well, I'm literally going to spoil it now, right? But I'll try to be a bit vague. There's this character who basically like has a moment that I think is the show trying to do a shocking thing, but it's really random where all of a sudden he like kind of goes psycho and does this horrible thing, but then he's like still around and like no one's gotten rid of him after what he did, and he seems to have completely like changed his alliances, and it's weird because like he doesn't age. You have this huge time advance and he doesn't. Like some characters age and they're the same actor, and then others get replaced, and then I think it's Sir Kristen, isn't it? Like he doesn't, and Matt Smith is another one. They don't appear to age. It's just weird how they handled all of that. And one of the things that was disappointing for me is that Queen Rhaenyra, right? Not her, the other queen. I'm really bad at keeping track of the names and stuff. To be honest, I like most of the time I'm watching it, I'm just chowing down on some food, which I realise like actually takes up way more of your attention than you think. Like at least for me, eating the food is like definitely hogging some attention. Alicent, that's the one. The actress that played her was brilliant. I really loved the portrayal of the character. You could really see this sort of like not quite a duality, but this like kind, warm-hearted spirit that was like sort of constantly being crushed as she like sort of, you know, plays her part essentially. And you could really sort of see it in her face. And some actors or actresses like don't really kind of convey that too well sometimes. It depends. It's always a question of like, is it the character or is it the actor? But with her, it was just really good. And then all of a sudden, she gets swapped out and replaced with someone else, and it's gone. That like chemistry that you could see in her acting isn't there anymore. And as you move forward and there's all these like alliances to understand, it's really jarring because you don't see that this like tenderness that she had before. It's sort of gone. Yeah, and I don't know, I just found it really weird. Don't know what other people think of it. I don't know. I'm looking at chat if you want to throw in any opinions. Bit of a pop culture beat, I guess. Talking about the old TV shows, but not everyone watches it. Right, I think I need to figure out the size of this tunnel for a second. So, like, I think about 2 blocks higher than what we got here is good. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. So we go 7 in by 1 and then the roof. 7 in by 1 roof. So that's your glazed. Because this is the... oh no, the glazed goes on top here. I'm going to have to put down a marker. Okay, dirt is like glazed. So if we've left out the space for that, then we should follow that and leave out the space for the next bit, which is going to be like something. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That one's 1 high. I think I might actually pull it down 1 more block. I don't know. And I need a torch, really, more than anything. Gosh. The lighting situation around here. Dire. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then, if you look at it here, it's going to be there. Then there's going to be that block. And then the roof is just there. And now a bunch of gravel falls down. So it might make more sense. Oh gosh, this is where it gets super awkward because you want to go up to this height and dig out the roof properly, but then it drops down every so often. Fueltron says, overall I felt the series was aggressively fine but not great. It was, however, a step up from GOTP, hashtag unpopular opinion. The problem with Game of Thrones is that it's so unbelievably good in the first 4 seasons that you don't realise quite how downhill it starts to go. Rewatching it really sort of illuminated that the changes in dialogue and the things that go wrong that are very obvious later on are actually kind of there in season 5, but you're just still so like engrossed in the characters that it's like still a great and fun show to watch. But once you know the story and you're going back and seeing the events again, you just notice the blemishes and the issues with it all are just there so much sooner than the first time you watch it. Because you're just more invested and engrossed first time round. And then when you watch it the second time, you're like, well, I know it's going to start sucking. And the end's going to be awful, but... yeah. Dang it, I just need some scaffolding in the mix, really, don't I? And look at this, we've got ourselves a fine old chest monster again. Scaffolding is the way sometimes. Noise in the air! It's Mind Kibbles 21 here with more cheers and biddies! Seems good, party cheer seems good. Thank you, my dude. Thank you for the continued support. Veritaurus says, is the Xisuma Says channel only added when you have that moment when you talk about worthy things, or is it simply too busy to keep up with that kind of channel and upload there regularly? It's I don't have the time really to make it a regular thing, but if something interesting happens on a stream, we can edit it into a waffle, and that will go on the channel. I would love to do more of it, and part of what it was about was, you know, setting up a potential future on YouTube doing talky type content. We just talked about various channels that do sort of, I don't know, science communication, journalism, think pieces. Like, I kind of wanted to do some of that. And in trying to do it, and not just that, other things too, I really kind of like overstretched myself. And what I've learned is to not try and do everything. And so now my focus is to enjoy the passage of time and to just focus on, you know, like what's current, what's actually happening, and keeping things kind of more simple and not trying to do everything, right? Maybe one day in the future, the circumstances will change and it will make sense for me to invest some time in that and give it a shot again, right? But as of right now, it's just not where things are happening. It's not where my priorities are. I don't know when they're going to shift and change, right? It was the same with doing the music channel. It was just like, I was trying to make something else pop off, because I like writing about music as well. There's just so much stuff that's creative that's very appealing to me, and it's very easy for me to get passionate about my ideas and treat them like there's something that have to happen. And I've just been teaching myself to let go of that and keep it simple, because I spread myself thin, and then it just makes me like anxious and worn out, basically. You know, so my plan was to make big content on that channel, you know, really get into some topics. And you can see that on occasion I've done that. I've done it with help as well. But it is just not sustainable with what time I actually have. So I've kind of refocused my efforts, essentially, and just keeping things a lot more simpler. Are there... No, okay. Okay. Sorry, I was looking at something, getting distracted. I'm like... right, let's go back to chat. I think the No Man's Sky stream was sponsored. Impulse did it a while ago too, and I don't think they ever sponsored him again. It was a sponsored stream. I was happy to take it up because it was a game that I like and wanted a reason to play, and I'd really like a reason to continue that series. It might be a little tricky though. You know, when a game company offers you money to stream like that, it makes it much easier to commit your time to it, because you got to remember, like, as a full-timer, I mean, maybe there are certain situations for some creators where you do what you want, and that's awesome if you get there, but like for me, I don't speak for the other hermits, but I speak for myself. Like, I have priorities here when it comes to like what content is important for me to produce and make. And so I want to be consistent with Hermitcraft. This is something that I love and enjoy, and I don't want the opportunity to pass me by because I was playing some other games, right? So it's nothing against that game, it's just you have to make those sorts of decisions as a content creator. So when someone, you know, offers up the difference of like, you know, it'll be a smaller stream because you're not streaming your usual thing, essentially doing something that isn't in the best interest of the long term of like you and your channel. When someone offers up money for that in exchange, like, it makes it much easier to justify doing it. So I loved it because the game was great and I could just do that and not really worry about anything. It's kind of sweet. Right, now somewhere around here, as you might have noticed, I've been kind of checking out. We're going to drop down a block. I think we'll do it just there, right? So now the trick is just, yeah, bring it down a block and then continue on our little journey. So now we're just digging it out of this height. I'm using the wrong pick again somehow. When did I decide to swap that thing out? Have you played Vault Hunters, says Randaddy. I have not, and it's a mod pack that I would like to play at some point in time. I don't know when that would be or if I'd realistically get the time. You know, I was saying about simplifying things. I find it very difficult to play in more than one Minecraft world at once, just due to the nature of the game, I think. And because of that, modded stuff, as much as I like it and it's interesting and I would love to get deep into it, it just doesn't happen all that often, right? For those of you that have like stuck around this channel for a long time, you'll probably be like, oh, but I remember this series and I remember that series, and they're far and few between, unfortunately. Have you been to David Copperfield this stream, says Bear? I haven't. You know, just feeling like I've got a lot of other stuff to do, but we should make it a bit of a tradition. I need to see some more activity in the shop, I think. Like, if I start to see the copper going, then yeah, let's make it a routine thing. And I think I'd be wise to just get on top of that stock, but I haven't seen it fly off the shelf. I thought it was going to fly off the shelf. You know? I thought the copper would go right out the door. But not yet, it seems. Anyway, an inventory tidy up right about now would be good, you know? We're not looking at our prettiest at the moment, so... yeah, swapping some of this stuff out, not a bad idea. More shulker box madness. Right, I'm just trying to think ahead a little bit. Oh wait, oh that's full. Okay, that makes sense. My next live stream is actually I don't know if it will be Friday or not. I don't know when the next one is. We may be continuing this project, coming back here, or we may be working on something else. I ain't really got a clue. I don't know why I'm even saying anything, because it's all to be figured out. Okay, scaffolding goes in there, and then I guess that goes in here. Sweet. Tidy it all up. And like that, we're good. Right, down to David Copperfield. I need more bone meal over here. Dang it. Mumbo's chat has mentioned the copper to him, but he's not sure he's seen it or he wants to age it himself. I'll shoot Mumbo a message. Thing is though, I've told Mumbo. In fact, he visited David Copperfield, but then again, like, life of a busy soul, you forget this stuff. The Create server was inspiring, says Coco, the Coco Puff. Yeah, I really enjoyed that project. That's totally gone for me now. Like, I had some ideas and things that I wanted to do. I just couldn't quite work them out. And then when you fall out of that rhythm and like a month goes by, it's real hard to get back into creative stuff. So I think that's concluded now. Even if we maybe have plans to do more stuff there, I don't know. Depending on what peeps are doing on the server though, like if they're on there doing a bunch of cool stuff and there's things to show, maybe there'd be another tour video or something like that. Tour stream. Oh yeah, look at this. I ran out of copper to refill the thing, and so now it's semi-aged on the platform, which is just unprofessional, really. I'm not a professional copper ager. So Mumbo needs more copper for his Statue of Liberty. Liberty. Do you have a non-favourite vanilla LP series from Hermitcraft? Oh, like Hunt the Hermits, Hermit Quest. Yeah, I mean, we did so many great things. I think Mod Source was quite the highlight. Playing modded Minecraft with the fellow hermits for the first time. Right, now, there is actually technically a slim chance that one of those could age on the way over there. And that would actually break things. In fact, you're not supposed to send these out when they're aged. They have to be fully unaged before you send them out. If only I had that thought a moment ago, right? So that one there will break, and I will have to go in and manually fix it. But we'll do that when everything's aged. And I can't remember if there's like a manual override where you can like send the flying machine back, but I'm not going to do that. But yeah, that's a lesson learned I hope to remember. Just for future reference, right? X, thoughts on the coronation? Personally, I'm going to ignore it, but I'm not really thrilled of the national pledge thing. I don't know what the national pledge is. I don't really care much for the coronation. You know, I've said it plenty of times before. When it comes to the royals, I mean, they're human beings, they're people, right? There's that. But as for the institution, I think monarchy is just an outdated thing that we could do away with, personally. And that's like nothing personal, it's just I don't believe in birthright. I don't believe in that kind of like birthright inheritance ideology. I think society and civilization should strive for equality of opportunity. You know? And birthright's just a strange thing to me. Like an antiquated thing. Then Fullcraft, says Tabsy Ragu. Fullcraft was awesome. Now, Fullcraft was some good times right there. That was back in the days where I was like uploading episodes of like Hermitcraft and modded like every other day. Dang. Can't do that anymore. Lifestyle's just different now. God, I think I'm either going to cough to death or I need to sip some water. Veristross says, assume it's too busy these days. Yeah, you know how it is. You get older, you have more responsibilities, things to take care of. Oh, I need to drink again, or cough. I think I'm going to cough. Oh. Rokan says, I see now the circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant. It is what you do with the gift of life that determines who you are. I kind of disagree with that. I like the spirit of the message, but that's the problem. Like, the circumstances of one's birth is relevant. Like, are you going to be the same person? Right, just imagine a different country, different culture, different type of people on a different continent on Earth. And would you be who you are if you grew up over there instead? If you popped out in that part of the world, are you going to end up liking the exact same things? Or do you think what's going on around you is going to influence you into liking these things? I've just noticed that our music has stopped, and that is always my signal to wrap it up, because I get very engrossed. And I actually need something to tell me to get off the computer, because it's been over 2 hours. So, I hope you enjoyed today's live stream. If you did, be sure to hit that follow button, and stick around if you'd like to be a part of the raid. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated, and cheered. Thank you for all the people gifting subs. Yeah, the mods, the Patreons. Oh, I know where I'm sending you today. We got a raid going on right here. Oh, are they not actually live anymore? Oh, well. Oh, no, apparently they are. Huh. Doesn't appear on my raid list. Well, anyway, I've got a channel to send you to today. Hope you enjoy what you see. And I will catch you all later. Take care, everyone.